Hello to our new session or online section in microeconomics. So today we're gonna discuss questions about demand and supply, the most recent subject in our course, microeconomics. First of all, first question is true or false question. في البداية يا جماعة بس لازم الناس تبقى فاهمة كويس قوي ازاي ترسم. لو رجعت للسكشن التاني بتاع الأسبوع ده هتلاقيني بعلم حضرتك ازاي ترسم الديماند كيرف والسبلاي كيرف. هنا برضه هنرسم شوية، بس أتمنى كنت حضرت معايا السكشن اللي هو الفيس تو فيس اللي هو في الكلية، ولو ما حضرتش شوف الفيديو التاني بتاع الديماند والسبلاي. First question is true or false question. Number one, بيقول لي the law of demand stated that an increase in the price of good decreases the demand for that good. بيقول لي لو السعر بتاع السلعة زاد ده بيقلل الطلب. الكلام ده غلط. غلط ليه؟ بمنتهى البساطة أنا عندي دلوقتي السعر بيأثر على الكمية، مش بيأثر أبدا على الطلب ككل. يعني بمعنى أصح أنا بقول لحضرتك إن في حاجات كتير جدا بتأثر على الطلب أو الكمية المطلوبة. اللي بيأثر على الكمية المطلوبة هو السعر والسعر فقط، إنما اللي بيأثر على الطلب هي العوامل الأخرى اللي هي التيست أو البريفرنس بتاع البوبيليشن، اللي هو population number، incomes, expected future prices of related goods, 5 factors affecting the whole demand. While prices only affects quantity demanded. Along the demand curve, changing the prices could be described through a movement along the demand curve. Suppose we have such a demand curve here, prices, and here are quantities. On the vertical axis, we drew prices, while on the horizontal axis, we drew quantities. For prices to be high, quantity demanded is low. For prices to be low, quantity demanded is high. So what did happen exactly when we moved from one price to another price? We just increased the quantity on the horizontal axis, and along the demand curve we moved from one point, which is that point, to that point. No need for new demand curve at all. We just need to move from one point to another point. The first question says that in order to describe or draw the changes of prices, its effect on the demand curve, you should draw another demand curve, which is not accurate or it's wrong. So, moving to the next point, or point number 2, which says that if apples and oranges are substitutes, an increase in the price of apples will decrease the demand for oranges. بيقول لي لو السلعتين دول بدائل، زيادة السعر التفاح يؤدي إلى نقص الطلب على البرتقال. Suppose that you are in such a situation, you have to choose between apples or oranges. If prices of apples increase, then you will choose orange. So, if prices of apples increase, the demand for orange will increase, not decrease. So, number 2 is also wrong. Number 3, if golf and golf balls are complements, لو الكور الجولف ومضارب الجولف complements. An increase in the price of golf clubs will decrease the demand for golf balls. دايما زي ما اتكلمنا في السكشن يا جماعه وفي الفيديو الثاني، اسعار الكومبلمنتس لها تاثير عكسي على الطلب بتاع السلع الاساسيه. بمعنى ايه؟ يعني تخيل كده حضرتك ان في سلعتين كومبلمنتس، السلعتين الكومبلمنتس دول بنقول ان في واحدة فيهم بتأثر عكسيا على حجم المطلوب من السلعة التانية. يعني لو ده الطلب على المضارب مثلا، على الكلابس، انا في العادي انا بشتري مثلا لكل مضرب كورة، فبشتري 10 مضارب، بشتري 10 كور قدامهم. لو سعر الكور زاد، فإذا أنا الطبيعي طبقا للlaw of demand which stated that there is a a negative relationship between prices and the quantity demanded. If prices increase, quantity demanded decrease, and vice versa. فبما ان السعر بتاع الكور زاد، فانا هضطر اشتري كميات اقل من الكور، وبناء عليه بما اني بقيت بشتري 8 كور بدل ال10، هشتري 10 مضارب ليه؟ بضطر اقلل الكميات من السلعه المكمله برضو اللي هي بخليها 8 مضارب. فاذا الجمله رقم 3 جمله صحيحه، بما ان سعر السلعه الكومبلمنت هيزيد، يبقى الطلب على السلعه الاساسيه هيقل. D. Moving to number 4, if consumers expect the price of shoes to rise, there will be an increase in the demand for shoes today. Exactly right. One of the main factors that affecting the demand for goods other than price is consumer expectations about future prices. Whenever you expect the prices to increase, you increase your demand for now. And if you expect the prices to go down, you shall postpone your purchasing process in order to get a lower price tomorrow or in the future. So number 4 is totally right. Number 5. The law of supply stated that increasing the price of a good increases the quantity supplied of that good along its supply curve, which is completely also right. The law of demand stated that as prices goes higher, the suppliers are motivated to increase their quantity of goods. Suppose you are a producer in a market and you found that the prices of your product is going higher. As prices increases, you will have a motivation for increasing the supply of your own good. كل ما السعر بيزيد انت بتلاقي نفسك متحمس اكتر لان انت تبيع اكتر, which eventually will lead to increase your profits. So 5 is true. Number 6. An increase in the price of steel will shift the supply of cars to the right. This point describes steel as a component of car. As the components of car prices increase, the supply of cars will do what? Will increase or decrease. لو أنا عندي سعر مكون بعتبره مورد من ضمن الموارد, سعره زاد, قدرتي كمنتج هتزيد على الانتاج ولا قدرتي كمنتج على الانتاج هتقل؟ الطبيعي هتقل, لان انا ما بقاش معايا نفس الفلوس بتاعت الاول, تكاليف الموارد بتاعتي زادت. طب عظيم جدا. بما ان قدرتي على الانتاج بتقل, يبقى السبلاي بتاعي بيقل. ادي السبلاي كيرف. Whenever supply decrease, it moves upward to the left. Whenever it increases, it moves downward to the right. Here he is describing that supply of the cars is stating that supply of cars moves to the right, which means supply of cars increase. That's wrong. As the price of steel increase, then the production of cars became more costly. So the amount of cars that would be produced to decrease. Decreasing supply curve means that supply moves upward to the left. علشان ما تتلخبطش كتير, الجملة دي بس الأول خاطئة, نعملها غلط بس الأول وبعد كده نكمل علشان ما تتلخبطش كتير. التحرك لناحية اليمين معناه زيادة, التحرك لناحية اليسار معناه نقصان. لاحظ بقى الفرق ما بين المنحنيين، العرض والطلب. ادي الطلب لما بيتحرك ناحية اليمين، اليمين بتاعه لفوق زيادة، الشمال بتاعه لتحت نقص. على عكس العرض، اليمين بتاعه لتحت زيادة، الشمال بتاعه لفوق نقصان. تمام؟ خليك فاكر المعلومة دي علشان ما تتلخبطش خالص. انت يمين زيادة، شمال نقص، اليمين ده فوق تحت، ما تشغلش بالك خالص. انت اللي يشغلك ان اليمين زيادة والشمال نقص. تمام. Number 7. If pencils and paper are complements. لو أن الأقلام والأوراق يعتبروا من السلع المكملة لبعضهم البعض. An increase in the price of pencils causes the demand for paper to decrease or shift to the left. Right. If pencils and papers are complements, then we buy one for one. احنا بنشتري قلم لكل ورقة مثلا، أو قلم لكل كراسة. تمام؟ لو سعر حاجة فيهم زادت هقلل الكمية طبيعي اللي أنا بشتريها من السلعة دي. فبما إني بقلل السلعة من الاتنين، بقلل عدد الأقلام. طيب أنا هجيب كراريس زيادة ليه؟ لا، هجيب كراريس أقل برضه. فإذا الجملة رقم 7 جملة صحيحة. Moving to question number 2, which is multiple choice question. Number 1. If increase in the price of blue jeans leads to an increase in the demand for tennis shoes, then blue jeans and tennis shoes are. The rule stated that if increasing the price of one good leads to an increase in the demand for another one, then those goods are substitutes, which means that you find that the first good or the original one prices go higher, then you move into the next good which substitutes the first one. لو انت بتستعمل سلعة معينة، مثلا الشاي غلي مثلا، فالشاي لما غلي انت شربت قهوة، فالقهوة بالنسبة لك كانت ايه؟ كانت بديل للشاي. فهنا هو بيتكلم عن نفس القصة، بغض النظر عن ان التنس شوز والبلو جينز في الواقع بتاعنا مش، انت ما بتعتبرهمش سبستيتيوتس، بس المثال بيقول كده، ما عندناش مشكلة. بيقول لي لو ان البلو جينز زيادة السعر بتاعه ادت الى زيادة الطلب على التنس شوز، يبقى التنس شوز ده يعتبر بديل ليه. تمام. Number 2. The law of demand stated that an increase in the price of a good would do what? The law of demand stated that in graph, the law of demand describes the relationship between price and quantity demanded. As price change, quantity demanded change. This relationship is negative relationship. As prices increase, quantity demanded decrease, and vice versa. While price is decreasing, quantity demanded increasing. So the change of price affected what? Affected quantity demanded or the whole demand curve? It affects only quantity demanded. So he describes here an increase in the price of a good, which means that price is higher, so quantity demanded decrease. The first answer is the perfect one for such question. Decreases the quantity demanded for that good along its demand curve. So keep seeing or reading the other choices. Decreases the demand for that good, which is wrong. Why it is wrong? Because prices or changes in prices affect only quantity demanded. It is not affecting the whole demand curve. Number C, increases the quantity supplied of that good along its supply curve. I didn't mention supply curve at all or supplying at all. So C is incorrect. D, increases the supply of that good, which also incorrect because this is description of supply curve, not demand curve. So the answer is number A. Number A is the one we choose to be right. Number 3, the law of supply stated that an increase in the price of a good, here is the counter of the number 2 point. Number 2 point was talking about demand curve, while number 3 is talking about supply curve. In our graph, prices on the vertical axis, quantity is in the horizontal axis, supply curve is here. Changing prices would affect what? Would affect the whole demand curve or quantity supplied? It's only quantity supplied was affected by changes of prices of the good, while changing supply curve was not an option. So, answer number A increases the quantity supplied of that good along its supply curve, which is right. But also we keep reading other choices to make sure that we choose the most accurate one. B increases the supply of that good, which is not correct because prices only affect quantity demanded and not the whole supply curve. Prices only affect the quantity supplied, not the whole supply curve. C decreases the demand for that good. D decreases the quantity demanded, which actually is not valid for such a question because we didn't mention at all demand or quantity demanded. So the correct answer is number A. 4. If an increase in consumer incomes leads to a decrease in the demand for camping equipment, then camping equipment is here we talk about a kind of goods that we call inferior goods, سلع رديئة. مالها السلع الرديئة دي بقى؟ As income increase, you feel a better off, so you drop off such options or such inferior goods in order to get a more or better goods, better options. بيقول لي ان السلع الرديئه دي هي عباره عن سلع انت بتستهلكها بسبب الفقر، انت مضطر ليها، ما معكش فلوس تشتري السلع الغاليه والسلع النظيفه والسلع الكويسه، فبتعمل ايه؟ بتضطر تشتري سلع رديئه على قد فلوسك، لكن بمجرد ما يبقى عندك فلوس زياده بتبدا تعمل ايه؟ تبدا تتخلى عن السلع دي وتزود من السلع الاخرى اللي انت كنت شايفها كويسه. يعني فلنفرض جدلا واحد فقير جدا بياكل في الصبح فول وفي الظهر فول وبالليل فول وطول الوقت فول وجبنه فول وجبنه فول وجبنه. مش معقوله لما يغتني يعني هيروح يزود الطلب على الفول والجبنه خالص، مستحيل. انما ايه اللي بيحصل؟ انه بيبقى بيعمل دروب لوجبه الغداء مثلا ويخليها يقلبها بروتين حيواني، مثلا ياكل لحمه ياكل سمك ياكل فراخ. فهنا ايه اللي حصل؟ اللي حصل انه اول ما الدخل بتاعه زاد بدأ يزود الطلب على السلع التانية خالص غير السلع الحالية بالنسبة له. تمام؟ يبقى الإجابة رقم B. Now let's see number 5. Which of the following shifts the demand curve for watches to the right? Shifting demand curve to the right means that demand for such good increases. Suppose we have the demand curve shifting upward or to the right, means that demand increases. What do you think of these choices will increase the demand for watches? Number 1, an increase in the price of watches, which is wrong. Increasing the prices of watches will only decrease the quantity demanded and not even the demand for watches. Number B, a decrease in the price of watch batteries if watch batteries and watches are complements. Now we are talking correctly. If watch batteries and watches are complemented, then if the price of watch batteries decrease will eventually lead to an increase in the demand for watches, as they considered to be a package. If one of the items that included in such package decreased its price or its price decreased, then the whole package price is decreasing. So the demand for such package will increase, which including watches. So if the price of watches batteries decrease and they are considered to be complemented, then the demand for watches would increase. The correct answer is number B. Do not forget to read the other answers or the other choices in order to make sure that you have chosen the most accurate one. Number C states that the decrease in consumer incomes, which are normal goods, which is correct, is totally incorrect, because if we have a normal good and increase in incomes, that will lead to increasing the demand, and he stated that a decrease in consumer incomes. So decreasing consumer incomes will lead to a decrease in the demand for a good, not increase the demand for that good. Number D, decrease in the price of watches, which is totally wrong, because decreasing the price of watches will lead to an increase in the quantity demanded of watches, not increasing the whole demand curve. Number 6, all of the following shift the supply of watches to the right except among the factors that affecting the whole supply curve, which are factors other than price of the good. Among these factors, what would not of these choices move the whole supply curve or shift the whole supply curve? Supply curve is drawn like that. He stated that the supply of watches moved to the right, which means that the supply of watches increase. So, number A, remember that I am looking for the one answer that will not move the supply curve. Any answer should affect the whole supply curve, and one only of these answers is not moving the supply curve. An advance in the technology used to manufacture watches. This one could have an effect on the whole supply curve, which leads to an increase in supply. So number A is not our one. Number B, an increase in the price of watches. Increasing the price of watches would only affect the quantity supplied of watches. Suppose that we have a low price here, then the quantity supplied is low. Increasing the price will increase the quantity supplied of watches. So number B is our answer, which is the only one that would never affect the whole demand curve. It's only affecting the quantity supply. I'm sorry, I'm telling you that we are talking about supply curve and mention demand. So I'm so sorry. Number B is the wrong is our answer, because prices of watches whenever moves, it only affected the quantity supplied. So our chosen one would be number B. Keep reading the other choices. Number C, a decrease in the wage of workers employed to manufacture watches. The decrease in the wage of labor, which is a factor of production or a type or kind of resources, decrease in such cost of resource would also increase the supply of watches. Number D, manufacturers' expectations of lower watch prices in the future. Whenever the supplier expects that the prices of watches will go down in the future, he would increase the supply of watches. Number 7, an inferior good is one for which increase in income causes exactly decrease in demand. Because for inferior goods, income increases causes the demand for such a good decrease, because people are gonna drop off such option or replace it with another better one. The answer for number 7 is D, the choice number D. Thank you all for listening. I hope that you are getting the things all right. Good luck with the next week quiz. So thank you very much. See you later.